I hope you downloaded the IDS. We did some configuration, the latter part of it, about IDS. We also reset our what? Our router time clock. We also give a license, set our security, because we are dealing with what? Intrusion detection what? Preventions and intrusion prevention what? System. Welcome you once again for another episode of what? IDS and IPS, part 2 of it. Where we've left, that was last week. Wherever you find yourself, I'm greeting all of you. At least, study to make thyself approved. Whenever we are studying CCNA, find yourself into it and make yourself proud into the small world that we find ourselves. We are back once again to continue. Last week, what we did last week is that we create a license model, that is a boot model C1900 technology security package, because the router is not having security features. So we enable it, you can remember. Then again, we went ahead and we create what? A folder, which is BFIPSDIR. And we said, okay, let us try our best and create a signature, as well of us call it what? Certificate. And we did that. After creating it, we went ahead and create the iOS, that is a BFIOS IPS. And I said the iOS, I said Internetwork Operation what? System. How to work with. So this morning, we are here once again to continue where we left. And the steps of it, which is 5, we create IPS rule, or we create IPS rule. And we are doing all these things on what? BFR 1. What am I trying to tell you guys? We want to prevent some intruders not to enter into our corporate what? Network. Whenever they try their best to enter into our corporate network, there must be a log message. So we are putting a triggering down that whenever something happens, inform us. Okay? So that is the work of what? IDS and what? IPS. It detects and it prevents. So the intrusion detects and what? Prevent. So this morning we are here also to enable the login. So let's try our best to enable the login of the iOS. And I said the iOS is a software that is international based, what? Recognized software. So you have iOS also on your mobile phone. Your mobile phone, the software that you use, the iOS.
But the last time when I did research, iOS stand for
iPhone. You know that is the side of iPhone. They said iPhone operating system. But this one we are talking of what? Internet working operating system. So if something is internet working operating system, definitely it comprises of what? All softwares. It's not only iPhone that comes out with what? A software. There are a lot of vendors that comes with their software. Samsung is there. So Samsung also have their iOS. So how will Samsung also say? They replace the I with S or what? I hope you are getting it. So for you to just get, that's why they said what? iPhone, because of the I over there. But internet work. Okay, internet work. Because if you don't have that iOS, it will be very difficult for you to communicate with what? Samsung, Android. because it's mobile softwares. Okay, yeah. So the softwares that run the system here and there.
Android and iPhone. Who brought iOS?
The iOS,
Yes.
it is it's international body. Like how we have the we have the ISO.
Okay, but how was the I don't know how to say, like how they were recognized by the people.
You know, when you check the form of telephony, telecommunication, mhm, where it started, how does telecommunication start, and how are we experiencing it? What are some of the things that they did before? If you look way back, we only use line telephone, but now it's a cell phone. So the software that they create, remember, they were using something they call it DOS. Windows create is known as DOS, and they have what we call the ARPANET. When you know the beginning of the networking. You know, if you look at how the ARPANET, what is the meaning of what ARPANET? You understand? Okay. So a beginning of something. If I'm coming out before Windows comes, there is another background operating system. They call it what? DOS, DIX operating system. Before your mobile phone, you will see the colorful icons and start playing around here and there. Remember, it starts with black and white. That black and white is what it means for the iOS. Are you following it? Yes, because it's a standardized something that you must follow. If you refuse to follow, you can't do anything. I will teach you telecommunication about telephony services inside. You will see. Because when you check this aspect, let me show you something here. When you check this, look at this one. Is it not one of the tower? Yes. And when you check this place, look at all this one. They are all what? IoTs.
They are all part of the communication.
They are all parts of the IoTs. So if I want to check at least something, I can just use that aspect to what? Get access to maybe telephone, how it goes. So let us not talk about it. Let's go straight to what is because if I said I will just talk a lot, and time also is going. So I want all of us to click on what? IPS. That is BFR1. Let's go straight to BFR1. Today we are going to enable the login. Okay? We are going to enable the login. Though we have done that already. And we have already set our clock. So it's time for us to just verify our service timestamp. Log daytime so that we can go on and which server we can have access to make sure that our login messages can pass through that server. So just logging inside the BFR1. There we go. Some of you said, a password. They don't want to create password because it will worry them. Go to the config T. Are you there? It said we are going to verify the stamp. We did a clock. Okay. So let us check our clock and see whether it's still what? In progress. Type do show clock. Because I'm in the configuration mode, that is why I type do. But if I'm in the privilege mode and you type do, it's wrong argument. Are you following it? Yes. Straight away you have to type or show clock. So today's date is what? We are in October. So it's showing 14th. 14th of October, all of you. Okay, but mine is showing 10.
No, it's 10.
It's showing 10. It's supposed to be 14. Showing 10. Okay, then let's set the time again. Okay, type exit. Then you type the clock set. Okay, type clock set. Then what says the time? 8. So if 8:09, then we have to put what? 08 column. Then a minute is what? 48. Let's make it 49 column. Then make it 00 slash. Today is 14th. You've put 14th. Then oct. You can just make it oct. Then 2024. You enter. 2024. So we are using the clock set command in the privilege mode to reset our clock in such a way. You have to do this because so that when somebody logs inside your corporate network, you know the time the person logs in. So it's good for you to make sure that you have to set it. You know, after everything, we didn't save. You know that? You and I didn't save. We just close it because we are in a hurry. Instead of us to go and type what? Copy running config, startup running config. We didn't do that. Let's go on. Are we set? Okay, so let's type the show clock. And let's see. So today is Monday, October 14, 2024. But don't worry, this one is based on the Greenwich Meridian. We are just using the universal time clock. Maybe wherever you find yourself in different country, yours will be different. So make sure that you set according to your Pacific time. It will help you. Go to config T. Now, after setting the time, we are going to enable the login timestamp. If they say the login timestamp, it comes with the services. Okay, login time stamp. Whenever you log in, stamp. Yeah, we want to tell the system that whenever somebody logs inside the system, let it be. Start counting. Are you following it? Start what? Counting. If you are about to travel outside, you remember those days when you'll be writing letter. If you don't have that country stamp, can you send your letter? Because the stamp signifies the verification. So we want to tell the system that the service that you, the router, and between the router and the server, you are about to work together. We want to stamp the time. We want to stamp, which means we want to make sure that the time and the date and everything have to be what? Recognized. Are you following it? Yes. It's a service. So let's go type services, then the time, you've seen the time stamps, isn't it? Time what? Stamps. Then log date time. So date time, and you bring the shift and the question tag, you say include milliseconds in time what? Stamps. So the MSES is milliseconds. So MSEC. Then you enter. So now you are telling the router that the time, if somebody logs inside our corporate network, it should check the milliseconds the person entered, how many times the person stays, hours the person stays. So if you have done everything and you leave this one, you'll be in trouble. You won't know the time. It's like you giving a security man job to do. Then you said the security man will ask you, please, when will I start my work? You've not stamped the time yet. Are you following it? You've not stamped the time, neither the date. So if the security man asks you, please, when will I start my work? Oh, Monday. Monday is a date. Monday is having a date. Monday, what time? 7 or 6 a.m. exact. Come. Have you seen? The time and the date has been what? Stamped. So we are telling the router that we are stamping the time, the date and time. But don't forget to set the clock. Oh. Other than that, you know the he said 1992. The clock is 1992. And are we in 1992? Yeah, in 2024. 1992 is one. Now it said send log messages to 6 log server. So the router now is going to tell you that anytime somebody logs inside our corporate network, let the server know. So when you check our network, which one is our 6 log server? This particular server. So the router is telling us that send messages to what? The 6 log server. So when you go inside the 6 log server, you will see who logs inside. That is why they work what? Hand in hand. Are you following it? Yes. Okay. When the security man comes and he starts working, please check the time he came. So for you to do that, what you have to do, if you put a sign-in book there, you've done nothing. Just put what? Timestamp machine. The clock machine. So the clock machine now is going to check you. The time that what it comes. There are some people when they come 7 o'clock, then they rise 7:30. But the machine never lie. When you press like this, it records everything. So now we are going to make sure that the collaboration between the router and what? The server have to be what? Strong, okay? Yes. So now let's go, let's type login. So who will be the login host? The login hosts. Then you type the login host IP what? Address. And when you check, this is our login host. Let me put it here well. This is our login host what? Machine. This one is our login host machine. So this particular machine is going to record everything. So it's going to be a spy. Whenever something happens, record it. Then when you come, you just go there and check. What we are doing, the same you can do on physical. Oh, the same thing. I told you next month, we will do physical. But you asked me, I said next month. So when you close, I have to make sure that go to the woman, then you have to bring me the Cisco switch and Cisco routers. Then we do physical. As if you worry me, server practical. Crossover, you say server practical. Buba said, we don't need it. We don't need it. So that's why I stopped. Aziz. That's why. Oh, Buba. Is that why Aziz want server practical. The two machines over there, they are servers. One server, one Kali. This one. You see, one server, one Kali. I was teaching them how to hack wireless router. You said? As I will teach you. When did I say so? Let's go on. So type the IP address of the server. It's 192.168.10.20.2. So 192.168.10.20.2. Enter. So now, sorry, we are going to tell the router that there is an iOS, Internet Operating System, that's supposed to work with intrusion prevention services. So the software must work with what? Prevention. When you see it, prevent it. Are you following it? You're about to enter. You must be prevented, not to enter. So the signature that we create, where you remember, we create a signature on the iOS. Do you remember? Last week. Or you forget that? Signature. Yes. And it's the same thing. We create a certificate signature, they are the same thing.
If you didn't brought the same name, we'll tell you that you didn't do it.
You see, signature verifies you. Certificate also what? Verifies you. How you sign.
But what you show to us is what we know. Yes.
But they're the same. How you sign shows who you are. I told you. They say rich people sign simple signature. The rich people, they sign simple signature. So things that they normally do are in simple terms. But if you see a poor man when he sign here, he will sign, then he confuse himself. So the signature goes with what? Certificate. Oh, who signed this? Is Buba. That is your signature. And whose certificate is this? Is Buba. So we are coming to tell the iOS that the signature that you create, we have a lot of signatures that you have to tell the signature that is true. Okay, so let's go on. Now we are going to create a signature that is iOS IPS what? Signature. So type IP. Type IP. Then bring the question tag. You see IPS, you see, we have IPS, intrusion prevention system. So type the IPS there. Then the shift and the question tag again. Can you see signature category?
Yeah.
Thank you. So we have a lot of signatures here in the signature category. So just type signature category, okay? Signature category. Then enter. Now bring the question tag, shift and the question tag. You will see category keywords. Category. But if they said category, I hope you understand. Categories means what? What does it mean? Category. Thank you. So type category, okay? Type category. Then bring the question tag. Then you said category all what? You said all categories, which means all signatures. But if you choose iOS _IPS iOS, IPS, more subcategories. It tells you about the sub of what? The iOS. We have iOS and the iOS. So you have to choose what? All categories. Include everything. Okay? Enter. Then when you said all categories, what do you want to do? Shift and the question tag. You will see retire. It said retire category signatures. If they say retire category signatures, then aside. You are about to enter into a place. And the moment you try your best to enter, they can retire you. Let me just put this thing into a simple understanding. If you are working in a particular department and you've been signing for a passport and it reach a point that you are going for pension and you find yourself out and now you are in the house, you hold your signature all right, but it has been retired. You can't sign any passport to anyone again. Your signature has been what? Retired. It signifies you. You were once, I said you were once in an office. And your work is that you sign for people's what? Passport to be issued. It got to a point that now you attain 60 years. You have to retire. So if you are retiring, are you retiring with your signature? Yes.
So it means that
you won't have that power.
Your signature doesn't mean anything today.
At all. So they said retired it. Are you following it? So if retired the signature, what are you trying to say? It's true. So if you don't know you are in the house and you sign for somebody to go for a passport, they'll say, oh, this man, we know him all right, but it's unretired. So his signature is not authentic. But the new person's signature is true. This one is working. You see how the thing goes. So your signature can be retired. So we are telling them that if you find a strange signature entering into our corporate network, Charlie, retire it. Don't let the connection go on. Oh, the connectivity. Oh, debunk it. Shut it down. Don't let it go. Okay, so type the retired. Then shift and the question tag. You will see, have you seen false and true? So you have to choose what? True. Yeah. Now let's type exit. So first we have done with the signature. Are you following it? Now remain what? The iOS. Internet operating what? System. Now we have finished with what? IPS. Intrusion prevention what? System. Okay. Now remaining the I what? OS. Are you getting it? Yeah. Oh, the software that you are bringing. Oh, this software. When the previous man was there, that is the software we were using. So this software is obsolete. It's no more. We have a new signature with its own software. That is what we are using now. Okay. These are the rules. And this one, I've been always telling students that you think you will not go and meet this guy. This one, iOS, IPS and IDS. Eddie was telling me that crossover. I wish I would come and tell them something. Think what we are learning, you are not learning anything here. Learn and make yourself approved to people that you too know what's up. Are you following it? Yes. You learn once and for all. That's all. Type exit. Okay, now another category. Let's go to the category. Then shift and the question tag. You see the iOS IPS. Okay, so the iOS stroke IPS. Then the question, shift and the question tag. You see basic. Then you enter. So the action is going to be what? False. Okay, retired. False. Who can explain this thing to me? Retired. False. Retired. False. Retired. False. Enter. We said retired true. And now retired what? False. It's dealing with the iOS. You know, let's look at this. In every vendors, there are standards. You can't change their format. The formality of coming out something great, you can't change it. But rather you can change the ingredient. Look at Coca-Cola. The Coca-Cola taste can never be changed. Because that is the secret behind their progress. So the company that they are in US, that they are capable of mixing the materials together, will never tell you their secret. But people just look on it and come out with their own words, Coca-Cola taste. Then they said, Bear Cola. But when you taste Coca-Cola and Bear Cola, far different. So the iOS can never be changed. False. Look at Samsung. Look at HP. When you power HP machine on, still you see HP. HP will come first. You know that the black and white HP will come first. So we don't want somebody to take something that is what? Capital H, capital P. Oh, then it means you have to retire. True. But retired false, because that is our iOS. No one can change it. You can't change it. The way we want it, that is how you're supposed to present it to the public domain. Okay? So that is what we are doing. So this particular aspect is very crucial. It's very important, what we are doing. The categories of what? IPS, the categories of what? iOS, what? IPS. It's very important too. It's very important too. You know. So far, we've not done tests. You know that. Having test the ability of you. So let's see what God will do to this week. You will see tsunami and you will see hurricanes, you will see earthquake whenever they are coming here and there. So we will do. Who knows that maybe tomorrow we'll do tests. Okay, type exit. Type exit. Exit again twice. And they said, do you want to accept these changes? They have to be confirmed. Okay? So just enter to accept it. That's all. But if you don't know the type what, yes, I want to accept the changes, it's also what? Cool. I said you can enter, or you can type yes, I want to accept the changes. This way is the same thing. Now we are going to apply the IPS rules, the IDS rules on an interface. All the rules that we have done so far here and there, which interface is supposed to take charge? So the interface that is inside the green, this particular interface is what we are going to apply the policy on. We are going to apply the policy on this one. So let's enter inside it. INT GIJ 0/0. That is mine. I don't know what yours is. If yours is 0/1, make sure that you choose 0/1. But if only yours is GIJ 0/0, like how mine shows, make sure that you do justice to it. Are you inside? Okay, IPS, then BFIOS. But you remember the rule. We create some BFIOS. So BFIOS. You create the rules. So when you go up, you can see that we create the rule like that. You remember? So IPS. But remember, you create something like this. This one is router 2, router 1. Yours is what? BF IPS. We create that one also. That is the folder we create. But we created BF iOS IPS. Yes. This is the rule we create. Or yes. Is it what?
I want IPS name BFIOS IPS.
Thank you very much. When we were creating the iOS, we said BF iOS IPS. Hey, this one there. Yeah. So if Aziz did say that it's the same thing, everyone said, "Oh, it's not. Oh, it's not great." Aziz, thank you. Other side. Okay, let's go on. Now type out. Enter. Enter. And it's telling us something. The engine build started. The signature, 1 of 13 engines. If you see atomic, it doesn't mean that it's bomb. But it's talking about a signature word, ready. Okay, ready. Whenever you set a bomb down, you want a trigger to happen, something to happen. When you set a trap, you want something to happen. Enter. So he said, the IPS all engine builds complete. Elapsed time 8 milliseconds. The time that was able to create all those things. Do you have something like that? Excellent. Now let's go on. We are going to modify the signature. Okay? We are going to modify the signature. Type exit. We are going to modify the signature. If they said modification, I hope you understand. to modify something, which means to edit the certificate. Okay, so let's go. IP space IPS. Then the signature. Let's type the signature. Signature category. Signature. Wait. Let me just bring the question tag. Yes, signature definition. We've done with the signature category already. So signature definition. Enter. The signature definition. Now type question shift and a question tag. Signature keywords. So let's say signature keywords, then the shift and the question tag again. We want the signature ID. Kelly, are you there? You know, the signature default number is 512. But when you are dealing with the modification, you have to specify. Okay? So we are going to specify the number. It's choose a number between, but if you choose a number more than because of the because of the packet tracer we are using, so we are going to choose a signature 2004 2004. Yeah. So the sub signatures have to be 0. Then the signature itself have to be 2004. It's what? Characters. And characters, there are plenty. Some will go, you can just type 1024. Because the normal signature is 512. But we are making it more. Are you following it? If you go to the bank, the ATM card, the signature, they give it to you. You see that is a 4-digit. But behind the 4-digit, when they tells you that this is the signature, like this one, when you check let me show you the administrator signature ID. You see the certificate. Where you remember the certificate? When you come to the detail and you come to public key parameters, you see public key. You see the public key. So it's the key. Look at the top. See the first thing. The first one. If they tell you that all what you are seeing over here are signatures, will you believe? Will you believe that all these things are signatures? Will you believe? They are signatures. The time you've been changing your ATM card here and there, you know that this is a password you've been creating here. You don't know. There's nothing they call hidden. The internet, there's nothing they call hidden. Sometimes I'll be there, then. Okay, let's go. Enter. Now, shift and the question tag. We have status. So type status. Then enter. Then we are going to do the same thing. You should retired and enable. Okay, so retired false, enable true. Security. Money. Now type exit. Then we have engine. Engine. You see that when we were doing it, there's some engine here. Look, engine. You see, there's an engine. You want to see me? Want to see me? Okay. Remain the engine. When they are talking, and when you check the top, you can see that they said engine building, atomic app, 3-watt signatures, 1 of 13-watt engines. So truly, if we want the thing to work, then we have to set our engine for start. So let's type the engine, enter, then the shift and the question tag. You will see event action. Event action. Event action. Then the shift and the question tag again. Then it said deny packets inline. But first, you said what? Produce alert. Are you following it? So we are going to deal with two things. We are going to deal with deny packets inline. That is deny packet. Produce alert. Produce alert. Is it not two things? Okay, start the work. If somebody enter, stop the person, but record that the person is late. Okay, let's go on. So the event action. I'm explaining this. Event action. Now, when you see a strange event, block it by record. That is the second one. Produce alert. Deny packet inline. You see? So the engine, we are going to tell the engine that, one, it should produce what? Alert, that something has happened. Because this thing want to enter into my network. Then, okay. So when we check our event viewer, there also you will see. Let me show you something in an event viewer. When you go to control panel, if I'm teaching the cybersecurity, I have a way of teaching them how maybe an intruder want to enter into your network and how you can get access to those things. Then we have device manager. Okay, let me right click and choose a device. Event viewer. Thank you. So when you click on the event viewer, when you click on the event viewer, you have to go straight to what? We have Windows log. Windows, have you seen Windows what? Log. This one, we did log, message log. We did message log. Oh, right now, configuration. In the router, we did message log. Hey, Kevin. Oh, as if we didn't do message log. Yeah. So message log, trigger it for me. Now, it said Windows log. So if Windows log, who is authenticated to log inside the Windows? Now, when you come to security, it will tell you who log inside the system. So we have audits. Audit it for us. Failure and sources. So I think it's loading. You see? So when you see information, information. It's a security or information tells you something. Information tells you something. But if I right click start and find myself in computer management, or I press on Windows R, then type GP edits, it's there already. I was teaching some people. But let me just show you. If I just enter inside the group policy editor, I'll go straight to Windows settings. Then on Windows settings, I'll go straight to security. Then security, I said what? Audit what? Policy. If I click on audit policy, event logon. Have you seen audit event what? Logon. Whatever that goes on into my system, event. When an event is coming, when an event is happening, event logon. Who log inside my system? Are you authorized? Coming from outside, I will know. So if I click on this one, I'm now going to give the privilege to the person that failure and what? Sources. Audit this attempt. Have you seen? Audit this attempt. Sources. Failure. You log off your machine and you know your password. If you haven't set this one as log on, that is a success and failure. But if only you have set it on failure and success, when you log off, try your best and type wrong password and see. When you type wrong password and you enter, which means that failure. So it will record failure for you inside the security Windows log. So you see error here with a padlock. So when you double click, say, oh, think something happened. Then you see it with what? ID, event ID. That is the ID we are talking about of signature. Are you following it? So everything is inside the system. Everything we are doing is inside the system. Let's go on. Yeah? So let's go to first deny, enter. Then second, it should produce alert. It should produce alert. Enter. Then you type exit 2 times. Exit, exit, and exit again. Then type yes. Is that? You have to. We are dealing with the two. First, the event action deny packet inline. Then second, event action produce what? Alert. Are you ready? Now let's see the verification of it. Type exit. Can you see something over there? Check something. Did you receive something like this? The iOS, the IDS, the IPS, they started work. They've already started their work. Enter. They've already started their work. They are working. They are working. So now, we want to see whether there are some intruder outside want to ping the green. Okay? So we want to see whether who is inside the green side. We want to see whether who is inside the yellow side that can ping any of these PC. Because when you ping any of these PC, remember you place the policy on what? This interface. There you know, you place the policy on this interface. So this one is going to check whoever that comes in. So let's type show IP. Show IP ISP. So show IP IPS all. Show IPS all. This one. So we have IPS signature file, configuration status, configuration config location, flash. We have our folder there. Then we have the last signature default load time. We've not seen anything yet. Then the global deny timeout, 3,600 seconds. Then override status enable, filter status enable. Then IPS auto update is not currently configured, but you will be doing something right now, then you see. So when you press the space bar, I want you to check the IPS category configuration. Category all, retire true, category iOS basic, retire what for. So everything that we said is okay. Now, let's minimize this one and stand on Kwame PC. See Kwame PC? You know Kwame can ping as far as this side because we have done everything, our OSPF, everything. Now stand on Kwame's PC and ping Ajwa PC. Okay? Ping. Type ping. 192.168.10. You must check the Ajwa PCs first and see. Okay? So let's see. Put the mouse on it. You see that it's what? 15. Mine is what? 151 because I'm using DACP. So 151. 151. Request what? Timeout. But let's do it vice versa and see. Stand here, Amai's own, and ping Kwame 192.168.3.100. Yes. I would say it's pinging. Thank you. So you are going. You can go. But if somebody is coming, detection. Are you following it? Detection. So it's good to protect those that they are inside and to prevent those who are coming. Because if you have a child, a female child inside, you must protect her first before outsider can get access to. But the way as this face make wild and booba. Is that you can see that it pings. Now let's go to the server. View the 6-log message. Let's go to the server. The 6-log. Let's go here. Click on the server. Then go to services. Then click on the 6-log. What do you see? You see the time? You see the host? You see the message? Unless it's not on. But for you to see it clearly, when you put it here like this, and you ping, it pings. But when you go up to Kwame's to what? Ajwa, and you ping, it gives you the information. You see, look at what is happening. He's pinging, he's denying. Have you seen? Request timeout. But he's showing something here. Which means that somebody is coming from outside, want to enter into our network. And the host name is, whose IP address is this? Thank you. That brings the curtains for today. Perfect configuration, excellent for you to see. Please, thank you very much once again for another class, peaceful class. You've gotten what we are expecting. At least, try your best and share the video, and also make sure that they that don't have it can subscribe. Thank you very much for being with me. And I love you all. Let's study to make ourselves approved unto God and man. Thank you very much. I'll see you once again tomorrow. Bye-bye.